exciting intro. Hello and welcome along to another edition of Finnart from the Toby podcast. This is episode 3. With me tonight I've got none other than Danny Simpson. Now Danny is currently the first team manager playing in the West of Scotland Division 3 League. Danny, hello and welcome along to the show tonight.
Alright, cheers for having me, mate.
No problem, mate, no problem. Danny, we'll just get right into it, no hanging about. John's no turned up again.
Usual.
We need to gear him that tight. But let's get right into it. Finnart, how did you come to be at Finnart? Whether it be player manager or whatever?
Played, I can't even remember what year it was, but I came down and I played under Phil, the real gaffer. Played with him, with Andy Blair and your Wilsons and all that, Gareth Mays. It was a really good team, Big Brian, Phil. Loved it. I think I was there maybe about a year and a half, but I had to chuck it obviously because I started a job and I was working on a Saturday. Don't think Big Phil was too happy with that, to be honest. He was wanting me to chuck a job to continue playing, I think.
Football first.
Aye, football first. But no, mate, I can't remember what year it was, but we had a couple of good cup runs and things like that. Really loved it. The boys were excellent, mate. The night shoot were really good as well, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Back in the day.
Good team bonding.
I think you were at a few of them, you know?
Aye, well, would have been. I like a good night out. Not
Same.
Obviously, you were a big player back in the day as well. You also played against us quite a few times for other teams on the Sundays and that.
Cashmilk
Dynamo. Good derby stuff there.
Aye, always a good derby, aye. Played with Dynamo for a good wee while, to be honest. Always knew when you were playing Finnart, but it was a tough game. In fact, there wasn't many games that we beat them, to be honest. And then I think that's how Phil clocked us, and I don't want to put him in trouble here, but contacted me.
Tapped you up.
Tapped me up. Tapped me up.
Back in the day.
But I was playing with my pals for a wee while, and you know what I mean? You want to try something new. Always like to venture out a wee bit, challenge myself, because they were winning every single Scottish Cup and all that kind of thing, some history. So I wanted a wee bit of that. Aye, definitely.
So obviously then you had a bit of playing career with Finnart, then we fast forward a few, you found the boots up, and then you wanted to get into coaching a team. So how did it come to be coaching at Finnart? What was your first experience?
I was in at Scotland Boys Club. I was doing the boys team. Got the opportunity to be Bobby McDonald up there. Is a great wee guy. He's been there for years. He gave me the opportunity up there, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would ever want to get into coaching, but I really enjoyed it, and I've not looked back since. So the opportunity came. Obviously, we were getting to that age where there was no pathway at Scotland. You got to a certain age, and then it was put to the side. So Finnart, obviously, with the West of Scotland team and stuff like that, I knew there was going to be a pathway for the boys, so I wanted to look after them and safeguard them a wee bit, and we switched there. I think it was under 17s. We switched there. Yep. Few things happened behind the scenes and stuff like that. People weren't obviously pulling in the right direction, and we had to end that.
It wasn't successful you liked it. I mean, it was a good team. I came to watch you quite a few times, you know. I think actually I just had learned to drive at that time, so I was just appearing at like Broadwood and wherever else you were playing.
See, to be honest, Toby, most of the boys all went professional teams. There's still boys playing with Alloa and all that kind of stuff. Dumbarton and everything like that.
They were a good side.
Top side, but as I said, as you get in every team, there's ones that spoil it, and that's what done it for me. And it just came to a head. I think I was doing it for a good wee bit, and I needed a wee break, mate. So the hardest thing I've ever had to do in football, because that group of boys, I made sure they were all right before the team had folded, but I wish I'd have kept it going. It's one of my biggest regrets, to be honest.
So obviously that happened. You took a wee bit of time out in the game just to clear it, and then were you missing it? Is that what the issue was?
Aye, definitely. I got the opportunity. The wee man, obviously I went to watch him, and he ended up in at Benbub, and I got the opportunity. Monty, who's now the Ants manager, he asked me to come in because he was moving to Cumnock. So he was going down there with John Doyle and stuff. And I took the opportunity, mate, and I absolutely loved it. We got the boys to the Scottish Cup final, semi-final of the West. They won the league that year, and there was another cup. We won another cup. I can't remember what it was called. League Cup, I think. So we've done really well. A couple of the boys, obviously the Bemba thing ended because the under-20s here, I didn't want to be obviously got there and be part of that. There was already a team there and stuff like that. Wanted to do my own thing, so the opportunity to come back to Finnart came up, and I just jumped to it. I jumped to it, mate, because, as I say, I felt I owed Finnart one as well.
Because of the previous issue that happened with
just what happened with under-17s, mate. So I'm so glad I did, to be honest, because I really enjoyed last season. I'd still have been the 20s manager. I knew if the opportunity, the seniors didn't come up, but I had a lot of ambition. I'm doing my C licence, and I complete that in November, so I've got a lot of ambition. I wanted to go to senior football eventually, and this came at the right time, so perfect timing for us.
That's it. Obviously we've got a pathway for the club, but it's a pathway as well for guys like yourself looking to progress in the coaching side of things and management and cut your teeth, so to speak.
Of course,
I mean, you don't need to look a million miles away. Boy played with us for years, and then he was at Colvo, then he went for Colvo down to Darvo, then for Darvo he's now at East Kilbride. So Mick Kennedy, you know what I mean? The local boy, did really well, absolutely fantastic.
He's flying
again, you know what I mean? And that's something that somebody yourself would be like, well, with Mick Kennedy, I can do it, you know what I mean? Because it's the same type of scenario. You're starting low, you're building yourself up, building your CV, learning the game,
of course,
and you're up. So 20s came about, yourself and John. So John isn't here, but how did you come up? Because you're one of this is the thing, you're at Benji John that came on, and then
we were rivals.
But then he's obviously come in as a management team.
I've known John previous to that. John ended up taking the came on under 18s, and I was at Bemba, and it was the 2 years gone for the league and stuff. Cups and things like that. It was 2 of the best teams in the league, along with Gerdop were decent as well, mate, to be honest. So we just decided he didn't want to do the travel with the 20s because they were getting into the east of Scotland and he would have been doing some amount of mileage. So we spoke kind of briefly about it and decided just to come together. The rest is history, mate.
Right. So your first season, your season last season was your 20s season. How would you describe that? Is it taking a team on, bringing in boys? How did that come about? Like bringing in the guys? How did you identify the players, so to speak?
There was a good few boys who came on and a couple for Bemba that came in, but then we knew players at that age level anyway. So we went out and approached a few players, but it took a wee bit of time, to be honest. At the start, obviously we had a tough group with Clydebank and things like that. Took a couple of hidings, so it's one of the ones you're like, we're going to get players in after taking these hidings and stuff like that. But see, boys knew what me and John were all about. They know how we operate. They know we're winners. So as soon as you speak to players, mate, they can tell if you're lying to them, or they can tell if you're a real winner. You know what I mean? So they knew with your personalities that they wanted to be part of it, and we built it slowly, which is why we were going to go another season with the 20s, because we built something good. I mean, we get put out the Scottish Cup in the last 16 with the holders and penalties. So we pushed teams all the way like that, you know what I mean? We knew we were building something good. And a lot of the 20s are still there. I think there's only one boy left today. So the rest of them have stuck together. And the new coach, Mark, he's come in. Mark Ferguson, he's adding a few players as well in the coming weeks. So they'll strengthen. They'll be good again. See,
the good thing with you moving up, obviously, into the scenes is that you know what that team's about, you know what the players have got, you know what they bring to the table. And the opportunity was there last year. I mean, I think there was maybe 7 players, I think, total who got opportunity to play a part in the first team. Some of them more than others, because quite a few boys played quite a few games for the start and coming off the bench as well. So that's down to yourself and John, and obviously the management and the coaching and aim. And then I don't know if you were saying to Brian or Brian was saying to you, but it's testament to the job that he's done, and obviously the pathway shown that it works, that automatically these guys then get an opportunity to progress into the senior team, and that's ultimately what we're hoping to do with it. That's why it's called the development team, to develop them and put them into the senior squad.
Of course, mate. As I say, we know the boys like the back of your hand, so the boys are aware that we know what kind of talent they've got, and they know they still need to work hard, because the boys that came up, seen this, it was a step up with the opposition and things like that. You're playing against kind of 30 odd years of age guys, experience. It's a wee bit more difficult getting away down to grass pitches, and it's all bumpy. You've not got nice Astros. So the boys understand that. There'll be boys. There's a couple couple of boys getting an opportunity tomorrow's game, v Blantyre.
Right.
But a wee bit depleted in squad wise, and I think every club's the same at this time of the season. Holidays.
People can get a wee bit extra work in as well in the late nights. And
of course. So it's part and parcel. You know what I mean? Every other club's the same, that's not an excuse, but a bit depleted tomorrow. So it gives boys an opportunity, and ones that we think probably deserve it going on last season. So there'll be more boys. This is a pathway club.
How would you describe last season? Just summing it up for the 20s, how would you describe it?
No trophy, which was.
But it's the first season. Even if you don't win a trophy, you can still have a good season. You can learn from it. You can progress for that. Know what I mean? So me summing up your season last year was challenging. I mean, as you say, I was at the Clydebank games and all that, and they were in a good outfit, man.
Very good.
Some of their boys will be in your team this year, the first year team, definitely. Because if they're no, then somebody else needs to come in and take them because they're absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
But watching I seen his progression throughout the year, getting confident, getting more stronger, more a unit, more a team together, and more. Even the players on the park were more understanding with their job detail, where they should be, and their attitude as well. Sometimes you watch players and not really own it, but then they're 100% committed to the game. They realise that some of the boys is letting their teammates down. You know what I mean? So they start the actual attitude and their discipline starts to get a lot better, and that did. There's a few people obviously in your team that were getting silly bookings and silly sending halves, but nearly to the end it was all everybody was in it together. I mean, I think injuries cost you a wee bit as well. You had quite a few injuries. Good players were getting injured, and through the injuries as well, some of the boys didn't get their opportunity in the later stage of the season with the seniors because they would have been and that's down to you guys pushing them through and giving them opportunity and chance. But summing up your season last season, I would have said it was exciting. That's what I would say. It was an exciting season for you. It was your first season in it. First season for the boys, maybe both of us playing for us at that level. So it was exciting for me to come on and watch that and see what the future holds for our 20s and our development, mate. So I totally appreciate that for what you did last season. But looking forward now, you're no longer the 20s manager. Part of that, you've moved on now. You yourself and John have stepped up into the seniors. So what do you see for this season? What's your aims and objectives for this season alone for the senior team?
It's got to get promotion. We're working really, really hard. There's a load of boys in there now. We've signed a few, we put them out in the socials and stuff. Really good players, strong players that we think will work really well in this league. We're still speaking to a couple. As I say, it's holiday season, so there's maybe another 4 or 5 bodies on holiday that are going to meet us as soon as they get back to have a chat. And they will take the levels up. They'll take the levels up vastly. We're excited about them. Can't name them, obviously, in case somebody nips in and pinches them. But no, but we're happy with the boys that we signed recently there. And there's boys coming back next week and boys coming back the following week. So you'll see in training and stuff like that the quality that we're looking to bring in. As I say, promotions the aim. We want to win the league. We're winners. We want to win it. So does every manager in the league. But realistically, we want promotion. We want out the division and up to Division 2.
It's not a hard ask. That is realistic. Realistically, we should be looking at promotion. We're unlucky the last 3 seasons. We've sort of fell away from the wayside. Spoken about that with Brian and on the previous show. But like everything, there is limits in what we can do. And again, there was bookings or discipline issues. There was people going on holiday mid-season. There was injuries. There was all these factors played into why we don't. And ultimately, if you go in a game of 3 or 4 losses, he's good doing, and it's hard to get out that mentality to try to get one back again.
As I say, I've been in probably the last 10 games, watched it, studied it, watched the training, and I felt for Brian a wee bit, to be fair. I spoke to Brian away from here. He was dealt a bad hand, you know what I mean, with the end of the season run, with injuries and stuff like that, and as you're saying, suspensions a lot.
Well, there was a period of time when they never had games. I remember maybe 5-6 weeks between 8 games.
That was terrible. I think it was more than that. It was like 7 weeks.
It's ridiculous.
Because of cups or something. But what the West of Scotland should be doing, in my opinion, is they should be filling the gaps. If your season ends sooner, fill the gaps. You know what I mean? That 7 weeks are waiting about and try to motivate the squad.
It's hard for them. How can you get match fit if you don't get match?
You can't arrange friendlies, but other teams are playing.
Exactly.
So I felt sorry for him in that sense. But to be fair to him, he dug on. Brian's a winner the same as us, not I mean, he wants to win, so he dug on. And the team ended up 8th, which wasn't good enough. He knew that, we knew that.
As I was saying, there's limits, that what we can achieve. When we set the bar high, we can achieve that. Players' commitment, management's commitment, performance on the field, training off the field, and putting in the effort. It's going to be a long season, we know that. There's never there's never any easy option. It's always going to be hard graft. You just say to yourself, every team's wanting to win. I would like a wee cup run. Everybody loves a good day out, not even a day away, but I personally like a wee cup run. Freve, for instance, we were at Freve, took that in, the 20s came down as well to watch. And I think that's important as well. If the 20s have to get a game, we should be asking them, or they should be not expected, but guys, you've got a 3 week eye, realistically you can go do what you want to do or what, but if you're not doing it, come and support the boys. Because some of your mates will be playing that, some of your teammates will be playing that, and that's a big thing. Also, is there any boys, have you took anybody for the 20s last season into this season and they'll be part of your team rather than 20s?
There's two, one of the boys has been on holiday, Aaron McNulty. Ross McDonald, currently injured now. He's got a couple of weeks. We sent him to a physio. It was a problem he had at the end of the season with his hamstring, so he thought it was his hip. So when we sent him to the physio kind of got to the bottom of it. So it was 3 weeks out. He's been out a week. We'll see him in a couple of weeks. Ross is a fantastic player, box to box midfielder. I think he scored near the end of the season for the seniors, for Brian. But he's just a wee workhorse, mate, and his attitude's brilliant. He never misses training or nothing, man. And that's the kind of boys you'd be looking to bring in.
The desire, the hunger, the heart.
He says that to the players. First meeting we had with him is standards. We'll not let the standards slip. So that's exactly what we've implemented in the past couple of weeks. And even the previous players, they say they're loving it as well, you know what I mean? They're loving the intensity.
So, out of your previous squad for last year, many of you don't even need names in, but many of you got staying on personnel-wise that have been signed.
No, you're asking.
Many of you re-signed. Many players have you signed in up to now?
I couldn't even give you a number on that.
12.
Anyway. The new probably signed about 14. On
that, I'm going to actually say something here. The I don't know his name, but we'll call him Wee Cabby. He's got some hits on the social there.
8,000 hits.
Brilliant.
Asked him last night if he was the Canadian Prince.
That's what I was saying. So.
He's a very good player. I say he came into training and he played in the game last week as I was standing. He's got everything as a midfielder. He's just checking where he should. He's coming into space. When he doesn't get the ball, he comes out of that space, creates space for other players. You can tell.
You
want to watch for this season, by the way. Fantastic player, attitude great. He's one of the boys. It doesn't seem as if he's going to miss a training session. He loves his training.
That's important, isn't it? Because if you're not at training and you're off it, your fitness levels drop. Your attitude as well could be a wee bit different. And if you're training week in, week out constant, then your fitness levels are going to be up when it comes to game day.
Toby, I said that to the players anyway. I said, you don't train, you'll not play. Simple as that. Doesn't matter what the excuse is. If you don't train 2 nights, don't expect to play on the Saturday.
Nobody's guaranteed the spot.
They're not going to be guaranteed it. It's not going to happen. No under us anyway.
So pre-season, we're underway. Many sessions have been?
We started on the 14th, so 1, 2,
4,
3, 5.
5 sessions.
5 sessions and one game done.
We know it's about fitness, building a bond. You're bringing in new players. Looking at, as I said, away day friendlies and things like that. Great for morale, great for the boys getting to know each other, especially if they're all going on a coach or whatever it will be. The good thing, going on motors and all that's all right, but then I always feel that builds a wee bit of cliqueness. You've got 4 mates, and then before you know it, you've got a wee, not what a divide, but you've got pals. And that's good and all, you know what I mean, if they're carpooling, but the coach is always good for bonding, good for morale. But you've said you've already had one pre-season friendly, you've got another one coming up. How did the first one go then? How do you feel that?
I thought it went really well for what it is, you know what I mean? We started with quite a strong team. We're 4-1 up, and then obviously you make subs and it affects the game. Do you know what I mean? Any team's the same, you make that many subs, it affects the game. So we won 5-3 in the end, but as I say, it's all about minutes in the legs and getting boys used to each other, isn't it? It's been crazy with 24 at training last night. 24. So
That's a good headache to have, isn't it?
It's a good headache, aye. It's better than having 9 turning up.
Aye.
And then you're scratching for players. But boys are buying into what we're trying to do here. But they know we want promotion. So boys want to win as well.
The hunger and the desire coming for you and John filters through that team. They see that you're passionate, they see that you're determined, they see that you've got a target, a goal, and to achieve that, they need to be buying into that and pulling a line themselves and giving 100% every single game. I don't know what the other day there you pinged me that you said something that was to Pino. I am the same as you, mate. I think he's an absolute outstanding guy up front. He's a workhorse, man, and he scores goals. And we were just unlucky that he got injured.
Aye.
I mean, we really needed it last season. You know what I mean?
I'm just going to say this, mate. I think if he stayed fit last season, we'd probably be in the second division. I believe that.
His goals.
He's absolutely fired now. His fitness, and he's working so hard in training, and even in the wee training games, in the game against East Kilbride last week, you could see what he's going to bring to the table. And we've had private conversations with him, and he knows what's expected, and he's thriving. He's buzzing. He's dying to get started. So that's good for us.
And see the fact and all that you have come in, Danny. You're selling John. It's a new lease of life as well for some of the boys. Some of the boys are maybe getting a wee bit comfortable under Brian and Scott and Div the last couple of seasons. Not mean they might have been thinking the place was safe or there was nobody there challenging because it was harder to bring bodies in or the people wanted to come or whatever it might have well been. But now that there's a new management in town, there's a new challenge for them because they've got it's like a clean slate. Everything's doesn't matter what you've done the last 3-4 seasons, how good you were or how good you weren't. Now you need to prove to me and John that you deserve this jersey, you deserve to be playing in this team. You need to show us that you want to get promotion, you want to win games. So it's a good headache to have, and it's going to be exciting this season, I think, as well, mate, because you're offering something different. I think your style of play will be a bit different as well from what we've previously seen in Finnart teams with Brian and Div.
But we're trying to work on something new. But obviously, with that many players in there now, it's hard to work on a lot of patterns of play and things like that. By the way, we're also going to play this season. We will switch it up. We know we're going to need to switch it up because you can't play the same way on a nice big Astro as away to Girvan in the winter. But we're not naive. We know this. But we've got a plan A and plan B, plan C. But we know exactly what we're doing. We've spoke about it at length as a management team, and the players will find out very fast in what we're wanting. And I've seen some brilliant bits of play last week. We worked on it last night again. And even in the wee game at the end, although it was crammed with 24 players on a third, the boys were trying the wee patterns of play. They know exactly now where to play the ball and what to do after it. But I'm not going to say too much. I'm not getting anything away. But it's looking good. It's looking good. Some of the boys you can tell have still got levels to go up as well. And once in a couple of weeks, you see that.
So the good thing I know that you have got now, you and John can stay a wee step back because we've got Toby, as we've called.
Toby's brilliant, mate. Toby's
got him in to do the coaching side of things and your drills and all that and set them up and take them through it. And the thing I noticed with watching him was explaining it to them and doing it.
Yep.
And then I'm not getting it, he's just stopping it and he's giving them it and saying, listen, it's no rocket science, this is what I'm asking you to do. Instructions are there, that's what we do. And to have somebody like that, his ability, his knowledge and understanding of the game, because it's not as if he's just a coach, he's been managing that other teams himself, he's played the game.
He's played at the top level in junior football.
It's absolutely fantastic for us, I know, for him to come in and support yous.
Listen, I'm going to say this now, I think Toby will probably be my best signing all season. I really do.
And he's not even kicked a ball.
But the boys have took to him. The boys know it doesn't ask about. It was hard for me and John when we were having to take sessions with the 20s and you've not got eyes in the back of your head, so he's just being able to step away and monitor everything and then come in with a couple of things. It's better that way.
It's always going to because he'll be able to tell you who's cheating at it. Well, he's not actually, he's going through the emotions, but he's not actually doing it.
We can see that anyway.
He's only 80%, it should be another, is there something behind him, has he got an injury or things like that. So it's good to have another pair of eyes and it's good for him to be that in depth in there, doing that training drill where you and John Kinston back and have a wee chat about X, Y, and Z. Who's doing it, who's switched it up, who's putting a wee bit more in, who's improved. Excuse me, who's improved in
the relationship's great with him. I've known him for years. Toby actually managed me at the Cashmilk Dynamo team.
Right.
He came in and he was a coach there.
How old is he, man?
I know, he's
Sure,
ancient,
50.
isn't he? No, but listen, he's so refreshing. I was trying to get Toby for the under-20s at the beginning of last season, and the Friday night didn't suit him, you know what I mean? But as soon as I asked him to come in and be part of this, he said aye right away, and I'm so glad he did, because he brings a lot to the table. He's a character, but he's a winner. He's exactly what we need. There's another coach I'm speaking to, he's in order now, so I'm speaking to one of the coaches, but we don't want to say who it is now until he's a cert, and then we'll get him unveiled and things like that the proper way. Top coach.
Keep it up your sleeve until
definitely.
It's like that. Never say anything's done and dusted, because the guy might swap his jersey and go to
Exactly, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know, exactly. But if I get him in as well, it's a very exciting team. And obviously Neely's still working hard with the goalkeepers. Neely's very reliable, doesn't like you know what I mean? Good to work with. And it's good going to Neely and asking an opinion about goalkeepers, because sometimes the goalies are there and you're focused in the outfield. So it's good to have Neely feeding you back behind as well.
I know that's what he is. His passion is keeping. I mean, he's been a kid that loves the game, and he's still doing it now, but it shows that he's still got that drive, determination again, and the passion to pass on his knowledge and understanding.
And he's got a lot of knowledge, you know what I mean? He's been in the game for years, so it's good to have guys like that to bounce off it.
Aye, brilliant. So the backroom staff's nearly complete, then you're just waiting on this other boy, and then you have a word with him. So
one there coming in. You know
what I mean? And that's the final piece of the jigsaw, we say.
Yep.
We're all managers were in Heed, mate. So I've said this to Matt, I've said it to Brian. How hard is it juggling your day-to-day life with your work and other commitments? Because people just think, and they see this is what I always say as well, especially at the younger age, or the guy just taking the team 2 nights a week and picks them up on Saturday. It's not like that. And in adult senior football, it is 10 times, I would say, more, because I'm not saying it's real football, but it is real football. It's more. There's more to it. There's more.
It's semi-pro football.
That's it. It's more professional.
I can give you my missus' number now, and you can ask her. I'm ready for getting kicked out. I'm never off the phone. If I'm not on the phone to Jai and Toby, I'm on the phone to Brian or Phil or players. It's constant. The whole house is joking about me now and going, oh, yeah, have you got an hour to spend with your family and all that kind of?
We'll be calling you Phil next.
Takes out of your life. But listen,
it's
my passion, and my family know that. Tasha knows that, my boy knows that, my man, everybody knows how much I love my football. But I did need that wee break, as we spoke about, and I missed it that much. There's no point in taking any more breaks, because I'll just miss it. But
it rejuvenated that. It showed you that you need that in your life. It makes you tick, it makes you happy, keeps you going. Focus.
Listen, I loved my time at Benburb. It was brilliant. It was a great season. Very successful. Some top players who are now at top clubs as well. As I say, it just wasn't for me going to the 20s, because I wanted to be main man. And that's football for you. It's football.
That's it. You've got, obviously, me looking at it from a fan's point of view, mate, again, and I'll say this to any coach, any manager. You're going to get criticism and comments on how your team looks and how your selection is, how you done it right, how you done it right. How you done it wrong. You're not going to get, saying you've done it right, you're not going to get anything. You maybe get a well done, and that's it, or a good result today, Danny. Personally, I will be honest and say that was an outstanding result. I've said it to Brian many a time when I've done things, but how come he's not getting a game in that? You still getting that? Senior football, we had it last season, players' parents coming out of the game. The boy's 23, 24, he's not getting a game. He's gutted, he's not playing, and the parents are still the same and are still talking about it. How hard is it to keep your players motivated and happy if they're not getting a game? Because that must be a big ask.
Keep them involved. Keep them involved with everything. See if they're not playing and they've not made an appearance in 2 or 3 weeks, get them in at training. Just be a good manager. You've just got to be there's a lot of managers that just push boys to the side and don't know how to manage people. You've got to have that kind of skill, you know what I mean? And in my line of work as well, I'm dealing with the families and stuff like that, so I've got to be there for the families as well. So it's not hard for me, really. I don't really listen to outside opinions, to be honest. All I care about is what the management team are hinting here, how well we're doing. And then obviously if Big Phil's moaning at me about a result, I'll take that on board because he's owner of the club, you know what I mean?
Aye, that's
So he's
it.
going to come down hard on us if it's not working.
That'll be hard, I know. Like, it's easy, but it's hard because see, like the committee stuff, right? They've got a different type of job today, and it's hard at the moment. When we'll come on to why it's the issues and that, but you're probably not looking at your shoulder, to be honest, right? Because you're doing a fantastic job. You're giving up time, effort, and for free. And this is what we always say, that you're putting in time and effort, which is costing you. That is costing you. No matter what people say, and we appreciate that 110%. And we've seen it. We've all been there and all. We've all done our own wee bit. But for guys to come in and do that, the committee understands that we need to back you if and when possible and as much as we can. But it's hard. And the reason being hard, we don't have our own facility. We're using public centres to try and go on, and we're not the only team in East End of Glasgow trying to book a pitch. You know what I mean? The same nights.
Loads of teams.
We've got over 500 kids. We've got over 90 coaches. We've got over 18 teams, or whatever it might well be. And on top of that, that's just us. But on top of that, we've also got local teams trying to book a pitch to play sevens, or just me and you and my mates trying to get a game of 5-7s aside, whatever it might well be on the parts. We've got teams trying to get games of football going. So it's a balance. We know that. And the hard thing is, we really need that facility. Sooner the better. You know what I mean? It will come. We know it's coming. But it's just not coming quick enough for Brian, myself, yous, Phil.
Us as well. So I say, I know the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes, by the way. And Phil and Brian have been at it for years yourselves. You have done everything, Gary. Every single one of these. Probably more people as well that are no mentioned there.
There's loads, mate.
You know what I mean? But once we get that facility, this club's only gone one direction, mate. It's only gone that way. And hope we will get it. It's no hopefully we get it, we will get it. As I say, there's so much work going on now. I don't want to say too much about it. Obviously, it's not my place to say, but we're excited for what we're getting told. So.
Well, we had Mark on, and then I had Mark out showing him X, Y, and Z, because he hadn't seen venue or whatever, and things like that. So I showed him that he was. I mean, up there, and we bumped into Bob, who used to be my 17s. He was up. How are you doing? I just there in the corner, so it was good to see him. He's like, get training going. Probably was that. So it was good laugh at him. But
Bob's a good guy.
Going forward, mate, going to ask this to everybody that comes on the show. Long-term ambition with Finnart. Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? Where do you hope to be in 3 to 5 years? Do you still want to be at Finnart in 3 to 5 years? And that's all good. So where do you expect to be in 3 to 5 years? And what's your plans for Finnart for the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, where do we expect to be? Facility driven. If we get a facility, I know that can pull in a lot of players. Just having that facility. I mean, you look at Ben Bub and all that, who's got their own facility, and they can pull in some top talent. You know what I mean? It will generate loads and loads of funds for the club as well. But I think in the next 3 to 5 years, if we get the facility of the line very soon, we could be second, first division, a first division side. And that's no being arrogant or anything like that. I just think it's going to be a lot easier for players if I'm turning up at the stadium and showing them around. They're buying into that right away. I'm turning up now, and we've not got our own ground and stuff like that. And we're training there, and we're playing there. It's a difficult.
You've no grounding, you've not got any home, there's no foundations. If you've got your foundations, it's a different meaning altogether, because you've got that home facility. You're just walking up, you're there, familiar feeling every single. You're playing there, you're training there, and it just becomes second nature. You know every blade of grass on that ground. You know what I mean? So
exactly, and as I say, that's where we would phone and meet a player. Come meet us at the stadium. As soon as a player walks in and he sees what we've got planned, if we can get that out of the line, you'll see the quality of player that want to come into this club, because they know the direction it's gone. That's the reason we're in the job, because we see the direction the club's going in, and it's exciting. You know as well, it's an exciting time for the club.
That's it. We've had early years, mate. We've had so many people that driving that, like Alec Campbell's part of it, Stuart, myself, Phil, Brian, Gary. Every coach has been part of that through the process, whether they're still here, they know, or they've left. Every single person has played a part into where we are the new. You know what I mean? Young Phil as well. And local businesses as well are bought into the fact that if and when we do get our own facility, they're there ready to support us and we've got the word as good as gold. You know what I mean?
Listen, us as a management team, we're very thankful with the sponsors and stuff that are all helping us in it. Honestly, it's amazing the amount of support that we're getting in it. Obviously, we're not going to mention that either, but there's another really exciting thing coming up, obviously, with it. I don't even want to say it now, you know what I mean, on a podcast, but people will see that probably next week once that gets rubber stamped.
The thing I know is the sponsorship thing as well is that we've got player sponsorship out there for obviously home and away. It's about £100, 60 quid each, or £100 for both. You get a free season book, you get to come along, watch all the league games at home. Is included in that, plus you're out on the socials. You know what I mean?
Listen, we've got loads of people on the socials, so as soon as we put the business out there, that's hitting 10,000 plus people. And it's getting shared. So it's definitely a club that you want to be kind of getting your business involved with. 100%, mate.
I don't know, mate. I think that's if John were in here, we've been going a wee bit longer. So it's been good. It's been entertaining. It's good to speak to you. Obviously, I speak to you quite a bit off the camera, on the phone as well, and we messages and things like that, because it is important to keep that link as well. And for somebody to bounce off, you know what I mean? You might have an issue and you want to speak to somebody, or you just want to get something off your chest. That's what we're here for. You know what I mean? And we're a big part of that. And you'll know that yourself with playing with us as well. You can talk.
Of course.
You might not like the answer, but you'll get an answer.
Listen, you're not always going to get the answer you want to hear, especially with Phil and Brian. They're ruthless. You know what I mean? But sometimes you need that. No, you know what I mean?
That's it.
But listen, they're going above and beyond. You know, obviously they've got us on the Astro. We're not meant to be on the Astro a few weeks' time, and that's always been the case. But because we want to work on certain things, you know, they've got us the Astro, so they've went a wee bit above and beyond for us. You know, obviously with the thing that I can't mention, they've agreed to that as well. So it's no every time's a no. You know what I mean? But we're all having to pull in the same direction. See, we want the same goal. We're all having to pull in the same direction, and I can see them doing it. So fair play to them. You know what I mean? They're working with us.
We'll finish on that goal. That goal for this season is promotion. Minimum promotion, is that what I'm saying?
Minimum. Anything other than promotion's a failure for me.
Right.
And the management team. We've said that to players. The players all know that as well. And I think that's how we managed to get a few signings there, Lynn, because they can see what we're aiming for here. As I say, in the next few weeks, in 3 or 4 weeks' time, I'd probably like to come on the podcast again and go, that's the signings I was talking about, because I'm excited with them. But as I said, I'm nowhere the line yet, so I'm not going to mention boys.
You don't want somebody to come in and go because they didn't know they were available, or they didn't know they were thinking of a wee move, or they didn't think they were.
You know the word of football, not me. You've got to keep things quiet.
So in promotion, what about cup wise? Do we want to win? Do we want to win a cup? We all want to win a cup.
We all want to win a cup, right? But when you come up against when your Premier team's not, it gets harder. But you want to go on a good run, or as you say, you want a good away trip, get a coach going, get the 20s involved. We'll be at most of the 20s games. Probably the majority of them. If I'm not there, John will be there. We'll be there together. They boys won't be forgot about. You know what I mean? They boys are always going to be in. As I said, there's a couple playing tomorrow. So there's still that connection there, and that's what we say to them. We know he's like the back of your hand. We know what ones are capable. And there's probably a couple of them will play quite a lot of games for us this season. I don't really want to name them individually, but the ones in the squad will know that they're capable of stepping up. They're capable.
They were maybe getting an opportunity last year, and they need to show that again, that they've still got the hunger, desire, and the willingness and the ability to get back into that opportunity.
Only this week I spoke to a couple of first team players, and they were asking about the 20s players. How's Hingman opening up?
Give him another year at his own age. Listen, help him out and then come up another year.
They've made an impact already on with the first team boys I've seen. So first team boys are going, he's capable of now. That's him telling us. But we know there. But we're getting a squad together now, and we want to get the squad winning, full of confidence, and then bring the boys in. We're not wanting to. They were forced into the squad at the end of the season. We were taking a couple of defeats, and it wasn't good for the players. You know what I mean? So we're going to manage it right this time. It was out of Brian Swan's. It wasn't his fault. They had to use him, or he was going to be turning up with maybe a better 11. So.
Or putting the boots on himself.
You don't want that. These dodgy calves. But no, it's all good, man. We're really excited about what's going on now, and in the next few weeks, you'll start to see further developments on the pitch. But very good performance that first game. We're hoping for the same tomorrow, mate.
So on that as well, you said there obviously like came back on in a few weeks or whatever it might well be. What do we know what kind of opportunity of maybe quarterly season review or something like that?
Season review, I don't
If
mind
you're
doing
still
that,
here
mate.
quarterly, know what I mean? You might
He's might bullet me after the first 3 games.
No, definitely. That would be good to see as well, because it lets you get you and John get your feet under the table, so to speak, and go at it and then assess it after say 10 games and say, right, this is what you said previously starting, Danny.
Aye.
Where do you see now, John? What's went right, what's went wrong, or how do we improve?
Don't mind doing that at all, mate, because it's good to give you updates, obviously, to the support and things like that, and everybody that's involved with the club. So if they're getting to see the kind of first team management speaking on things, then they can see the direction we're going in as well. You know what I mean? We don't want to be oblivious to everybody. I'm trying to get to know the coaches' names and stuff like that. See, like the academy coaches, every time I'm meeting them, checking their on, getting to know them, because that's what we need. We need everybody together.
On that, and also here's the thing: we tried this in the past, and I'm going to put you in the spot and all, but we've got players, right, and you're doing the thing there where you're trying to get to know the other coaches. You know what I mean? All the age groups, all the levels.
Mm-hmm.
We had an opportunity, or we did do it a few times where players went to like maybe the younger team's presentations to give them their trophies, or they went and did their training with them. Is that something you think that would? I know it's hard because the guys are working out things and that, but would that be something again? Maybe if maybe a team requested it, say for instance, like say Gary's team, right? Because they usually genuinely, I don't know if they have yet, but they genuinely sponsor Brandon, right?
Aye. I think that again this year.
Aye, so that's the thing. So they genuinely sponsor Brandon, that team, and I think personally that it would be good to see Brandon going to their Player of the Year night or whatever and giving them a trophy, because they're wanting to sponsor him and support him.
Of course, listen, see that goes a long way. But when you're a youngster, you're looking up to the first team. So see even the first team manager and the captain or the guy that the sponsor like a Brandon or something going on and just handing out trophies. That's a good thing. That brings a club together, you know what I mean? So loads of things like that, I'm well up for doing.
Mm-hmm.
Me and John will be well up for doing, Toby and all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's good to see, I know that there's that, we keep saying it, there's a pathway there, but let's showcase the guys at the top and say, listen, we're here for you. You can come and speak to us and all. If there's something you want, something to bring to our attention, or maybe they'll get a wee guy just tucked in the 16s who's doing a wee bit better. Can we get him noticed? Can we come and have a look at him?
Well, there you go. Last week, we had 9 in goal for the last 20 minutes of the game. First team debut. Never even lost a goal. Brilliant keeper. Big future in the game. Rate him highly. Don't want to rush him.
Right.
Obviously, he's a young pup, you know what I mean? But progression, very, very good. Never phased him enough.
That's
it. Put him on, the shoulders were pumped out, you know what I mean? I spoke to his dad. Spoke to his dad after the game and he couldn't pick him off the roof.
He's buzzing for his boy.
Aye.
And that's it.
But the boy was buzzing all the way home in the motor. He said he's never seen him as excited as that, mate. That's what we're all about. So if you're good enough, you're old enough, you'll get opportunities with your first team if you're good enough.
That's great. Danny, we'll end on that high. Just one last, in fact, no, just one last thing. You'll get games coming up, you'll get friendlies coming up. But this time this goes out, we'll obviously play the next game. But beyond that, what else have you got lined up with friendlies you got in case anybody wants to pop line? You know the dates after that?
I've switched my phone off here,
mate. That's fine.
We've got a game every Saturday and we're playing next Saturday. We've not got a venue in that yet, but we're playing Kenway Hearts for Fife.
Right.
After that, we play Cambuslang Rangers on the Tuesday night, midweek game, and then Dawn on the Saturday, and then I think we finish up. That's terrible. I don't know what games have arranged in it.
I know, because you've got more in your head, and that's what comes down to. It's not just about arranging the games or thing. You've got all that. That's what people don't see. You've had to organise all that stuff.
Remember that? How could I forget my mate's team, Muir Cup, because we're playing Muir Cup, but we've also got another Thursday night game. We're trying to get a couple of midweek games as well, so we can.
These will put in the socials as well. You know what I mean? We will put them in the socials as well, and let people know as well. But Danny, once again, mate, thank you very much for coming on the Finnart from the Toll podcast.
It's been anytime, mate.
And we'll see you. All the best for the season, first of all.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again in the future.
Brilliant, big man. Cheers.